Right, I've just got off a stream. I'm really, really tired, but I'm just gonna do a quick fucking tier list. I don't know how long there's left of even this patch, 'cause I know there's another one in January, but I'm gonna just do a quick, like, informative one for the rest of the season, because I've had people asking my stream, like, what's good and what isn't, and I'm gonna walk through alphabetically, explain a little bit, and to whack them in. So Andrew's, like, probably best flank. The only person that can kind of compete is Zin, and that's just because of his tank slaying, like, guillotine abilities. He's definitely, I may move some of them later, but he's definitely. I don't know whether I want to put him S. Maybe I guess S because of the meta. This is ranked, by the four ranked. Um, and it's like it's not necessarily off brute strength, but how people like play around it. People are struggling to Andrew, and the reason why he's up here is because pocket supports are insanely in the meta right now. So he has to be like high up just purely because of that. This is ranked like Ash on paper isn't that strong, but she's really good in ranked because people tend to struggle into like aggressive tanks and aggro tanks. When you play Ash, just hold W into her. She's got like she's got three viable legendaries in like different situational times. The battering ram's probably best because you just push into them, just hold W, push into them, and you're gonna get value from them either looking at you or you getting a kill, which will probably end up in getting a kill or pressuring the healer off the point tank because people just fucking run point on this. Um, Atlas in ranked, I think Atlas is a hindrance. I don't think he gets as much value as he obviously does in scrims. There's no comms. He sort of gets in the way, and people don't really know how to play him properly. I'm gonna put him B plus. Nah, B for now. Um, but I might change my opinion on that. I think back in the state he's in now is definitely like the worst tank. I think he's very, very easily punishable in ranked if your positioning's bad. Um, and so many people have very bad loadouts on him. That's just I'd just say stay away from him. I'm even gonna put him for just for rank purposes B minus. It's not worth it. BK is kind of slept on. He's all right, but like a lot of the things that do well into him is better. Um, I'm gonna put him B plus above Ash. Um, he's obviously good on the maps. He like Stonekeep if he has term, Jag. He's good on his usual maps. He hasn't really changed. It's just the meta shifted away from him. Buck Buck in rank. It's like if you can play him, he's really good. I'm gonna put him B. If you can play him, he's good. Go like bounce house against the right comps. Just snowball. Like people don't really know how to do it, and it winds people up. If you get a kill on someone, they're instantly tilted. They're gonna change their playstyle just to adapt to you. Even if you're getting one kill, one death every time, you're probably you're gaining more value than you're losing. But it's not necessarily like solo carry like you kind of want. Cassie Cassie's like super super good. She's always gonna be good. She's like the pinnacle of balance. She's probably S. Mm, low S. I'm going like I know some people do the tiers and some people are very stringent with double S and S. Or however they do their top ones. Like mine are gonna be like there's gonna be more people up in this top one. Um, but yeah, she's does well into pretty much everything. Corvus, Corvus, I'm gonna put SS in ranked. Corvus is insane. Like, if people don't build core, Corvus rules the game. He's good with any tank combination. He's good with pretty much any damage, and he's better with like hit scans because of the life steal. So like Andrew, even like Cassie, um, even though she's not hit scan, but you know what I mean. She's definitely he's definitely one of the best just because pocket support is so good. Dredge, I'm putting Dredge in B. Dredge is actually pretty good. Um, you get people just don't know how to play him. I'd say unless you watch pro players play him and you study how they play, um, don't bother. It doesn't matter how much value you think you're getting. You're probably just farming tanks. You're just giving supports ult charge. So it doesn't. If your stats are coming out and you've got like the fucking twice as much damage as the second guy on your team, it probably doesn't mean anything. Drogoz. Drogoz is, obviously super counted. So many good hit scans. Snipers are really good. Um, I'm gonna have to put probably B minus. He's if there's no counters and he's on the right map, he can rule it. Evie, I say Evie's like third best flank. I'm gonna put I'm gonna put B. I'm gonna put A. No, I'm gonna put a B plus. Um, there's to get like this isn't for the average person. If someone's really good at the game, they're not gonna be watching this tier list. They're gonna know what they're doing. Um, so if you're looking to play Evie, um, it's because Andrew's banned and Zin's banned. That's the only time you want to play Evie. You want to flank Andrew and Zin are banned, then play it. Otherwise, don't bother. Nando's going up in A. He's a decent off tank. He's a good main tank. You can pressure, you can play point, you can, he's extremely versatile. Aegis, you go Aegis if you're going off or main. The fact that he's got like a 3 second cooldown and his loadout cards that are based around his Aegis build are just superior to the rest. There's no point running like flamethrower builds or extra fucking health or whatever people decide they want to run. Furia is always going to be good. She's obviously not. She's standard. She might even go B because I guess B's my middle. No, B plus is my middle. It's my good middle, slightly not good middle. Um, you never really pick Furia. She's as good as she's always has been. It's just other shit are better. Other shit's better. So it's like, why would you pick Furia instead of picking them? Grok, I'm putting down his damage. It's it's like he gets a lot of fast ults off. I'm putting him at the bottom of B. He gets fast ults. You have to take him into like a Barrack or a Ying to get real value. I guess you can into one of these. I can't think of the names off the top of my head. Anara and Io. You kind of get value there. Um, but yeah, don't play him as support. It's trolling. Um, Grover. Grover is really good heals. He can solo heal on almost every map. He's got good utility. He's got good damage. The vine glitch or whatever you want to call it, bug, whatever, um, mechanic, if you will. Um, it can take you across the map. His survivability is super good. Um, he's top tier healer if you're not going one of the pockets. Amani, Amani's pretty standard. She's not good. She's not bad. She doesn't really bring anything to the table. She's got a good ult until people start focusing it, or buy bulldozer. But it dies pretty quickly without it, so there's not really much need for it. Just people need to focus it and play around it. Um, and yeah, and Amani's pretty standard. Um, Anara is the best point tank. Um, even after a nerf, she's still the best point tank. Um, I'd say yeah, it's definitely worth still playing her. People seem to think like point tanks are dead because she was the only one that was really played. I don't think that's true. Especially like if you're running Genos, maybe avoid it unless you're like solo tank because it can stretch the healing a little bit too much. But you need to know. You need to if you think you're not being healed enough by the Genos when you're on an Anara, it's probably your fault. You're not dropping court enough, and you're not like dipping in and out of aggro. You're just contesting the point, or pushing into them and making space for your other people's damage boost to take over. I tend to only like Genos if I'm solo tanking Anara. I don't tend to like it if I've got another tank. IO, pocket support. I'm literally all the pocket supports I'm putting up here. I think Corvus is better than IO. And then Genos is better than Corvus. These are the order of priority. IO is better than Corvus sometimes if you can get really if you're running like 2 off tanks, you want to go super aggro or dive. You want the DR and you want to be able to put your dog on point. Then IO is better than Corvus. But in most situations, and especially for ranked, if you're not coordinating a draft, Corvus is just better because it punishes people's mistakes. The amount of times I've seen people try and shoot someone, and the enemy's decourting because they're missing so many shots, and a Corvus pocket's just full healing them up, and the life steal as well. It's just so obnoxious. You need good focus fire on court, and he takes advantage of everything that people lack in ranked. Calm's really good. Um, I say really good. He's not really good. Um, in ranked, I think he's very easily punishable, to be honest. And if you don't really have someone with you, he doesn't have a lot of solo kill potential. Like if you go morale boost and just pump out ults, you're gonna be getting value. I'm gonna put him here. I think he's good. He's not like super good in ranked because he's kind of difficult um to hard carry on. The only reason he's above Ash because you want to be doing similar stuff with him. Ash does that better in ranked, but his ult's just so good. You build him up, you pop him out, you get him all the time, and it just throws the team off because like you make it a 4v5 and they won't regroup. They'll often take the fight anyway. Canessa, like if you can aim, take Canessa. Even if you land half your shots, it's so good. Like her one shot potential. I run her on like any map, anywhere. She heals 500. I start morale boost life for it because you don't really need caught unless people aren't like doing anything about the tanks. But her ult pretty much free shots all tanks anyway. Um, so life rip, you can heal for over. I think calculated, you can heal for over I don't know like 1200 health. You can heal half your health back on one shot. It's insane. Koga is C in ranked. Very easily countered. Good if you get like pockets, but like I'm trying to think like individually. It's very easy to counter if you know. Just don't run it. It's not good enough. Lex the same. I'm putting him there. Leanne. Leanne I'm gonna put S, bottom of S. She's very versatile. People are running like Alacrity. That's really good. It's a lot of damage. You spread your core out. Um, I quite like Eminence still. It's burst, one shot. I think if you burst someone, it takes them by surprise. People are a lot less aware in ranked. I think Eminence is better in ranked. If you just want to carry a fight, you just pop someone. That's it. Maeve, I'm gonna put just below Evie. I think Evie's easier to play than Maeve. Um, Again, if you can get Andro or Zin, or you don't even need to run a flank, then don't run them. But if you need a flank and they're both banned or whatever, then you can dip into these. It's generally players' preference for which one they go to. I think Evie's just slightly better, but Maeve does favour the matchup a little bit. Koa is SS. People like your eyes are gonna get people that don't know what to do when a Koa shield's up. Like you generally get two circumstances when you Koa shield in ranked. It is everyone stops playing the game, and then your team can take over. They just stop playing the game because they're like, oh right, we know we shouldn't shoot the Koa shield because you know he's gonna get it back. So people just like stop playing, or they shoot it and you're constantly spamming out shields. So either way, you get so much value, but it's pretty much always banned. Like I never see my games because I will always ban it. He's Danber is literally obviously pinnacle of heals. He's always good. He's never like broken. He's never like dead. Um, Obviously Grover brings a lot more utility. He's like also obviously kind of a hard focus to roam. I think yeah, Danber is really good, really good. Just for heal zone, that's not really the meta. Moji, I'm gonna put down here. Like a lot of these, flanks are dead. Um, yeah, very easily countered. There's not a lot you can do. He brings out good damage and can like melt tanks, but who really cares? Pip, I'm gonna put B minus as like he's all right. Oh no, I can't put him below Grok. No, he's better than Grok. I'm gonna put him there and actually move Grok down. I don't know why Grok was so high. Yeah, Grok's shown there. I'll put Pip there. Pip's definitely better. But yeah, he's not bad as heal, but core like does exceptionally well into him. He's got a good ult, but you can't get solo ult value without your damage boost. So yeah, he's not the best, but he's alright. Catalyst is a little off heal. Rom, I'm gonna put above. No, I'm gonna put below. I feel like if you have in ranked a solid point tank is generally more value because people need a little bit of stability. They're like if you have a point tank, people are just happier. Like your team's just happier. Like I know it's not always the case. It's not always the best. It's not the best, but it's the best for your team and it's the best for winning. You're more likely to win if you go like an arrow over Rome. But if Rome's up and they don't have counters, definitely pick it. They're either going to be staring at you. You're going to be getting free kills. You do a lot of damage. You get an ult off. It's fight changing. Like Rome just does so much. Ruckus in ranked is going to sit pretty low. I think if they don't have direct if they don't have like a Cassie and a Genos and BK and like anything that does well into him, then he can really dive and get some really good pressure. But he doesn't provide space that people require to play well. It's like if you run like a flank with Ruckus, they will tend to just feed with you and they tend to blame you because they haven't got a shield to sit behind and stuff like that. They don't feel like you're providing for the team, and they just tend to play bad, and so do most Ruckus players. So I wouldn't bother picking it. Ceres, don't pick it as support unless you're just brain dead. If you can't aim at all, then I guess it's not bad. But it's all she provides is heals, and they're not even that good. Like you can only really do like a little portion, and you always spread out. If they're splitting the damage, and you've got to cancel a heal early, or you've got to turn around and heal a damage. It just takes away from what Ceres is good at, and it just puts your team at such a disadvantage. She's got an alright ult if you can land it, and they got no shields, but it's pretty easily counterable. She's not worth it. Damage, I'd say she's really, really good damage. But I don't see a lot of people run it well. And it is still easily countable. Charlene is definitely up. I am gonna put Canessa above Cassie. Like I personally, in my hands, like Canessa is probably the best, but I'm gonna have to leave her there because not everyone will be able to take full advantage of a damage. But the reason why Charlene's so high is because its damage is like fairly easy to get off. Like people don't always on the shots, but then they've got the cripple arrow, which is very easy to explode. Not many people buy Resil against Char. People will buy Resil at the higher ranks, but they still sometimes don't feel like they need it against Char because they don't feel like hard. Like it's not hard CC, so they just don't think of Resil like they should. So you can get a lot of kills because of it, and shut down ults and abilities, like Ash for example. Sky, Smoking Daggers is super, super strong. Sky's very easily counted, but where am I going to put her? I'm going to put a B somewhere. I'm going to put her here. I'm going to put her here. Like, I don't know whether there's any Sky mains, but Sky mains are terrible. They run Debilitate or something stupid like that. Sky main, no. If you main Sky, you're not playing it right. You've got to play it in. Your team's got to have a very specific, like, sit tight comp, not a rush comp, and they've got to have nice people to run into. They want to have like a Ruckus or like a Torp. Something with easy right clicks and a high HP pool to get some value. And her ult's really, really strong. Strix, like as you can see, damage and supports are pretty high on the list. I'm gonna put Strix there because I don't want him in the same column as Canessa. Like the fact that Canessa can one shot, heal so much, deal with flanks. No, deal with flanks if you're good with Canessa. I think she does everything better apart from out snipe this geezer, which she can on occasions, but it depends how they play. Like if the other Canessa is good and you're not very good, the Canessa will win hands down. Again, she one shots. Talus in ranked, I'm putting Talus down here. I think Talus is the worst. Yeah, Talus is the worst. I'm bringing Lex down because these are a little bit better with pockets than these are. Even with a pocket, it's not really worth it. He's had some nerfs. It's just not runnable. Just don't really do it. Term Term's really good in rank because a lot of people don't understand what he does and what he's good for, you need to have the shield reset loadout. 5 points in less damage for charge, 5 points in, or 4 points, something like that, in the siphon return on your right clicks. And then generally go decimate. I'm going to put him here. I think Nando's better in most situations. He doesn't do very well with Genos. Genos is really good. But he counters a certain amount of stuff. He enables a certain amount of stuff. So he's very flexible pick, but he's all right. You can play him off or point tank, but he's generally better point tank because people just shoot into it. You just sit on it forever. Tiberius is um very good, but in some maps he doesn't excel. And I don't see a lot of Tigers getting value. It's very easy to counter Tiger. Unless they're like exceptionally good in the character and they take you by surprise and burst you. If he bursts, if they're good at their character, they will burst you pretty quick. But otherwise, he's just pretty chill. He's not that big of a worry. I don't think Torv's that big of a worry. I think pick Torv if you've got a duo, but otherwise don't bother. In ranked, I don't think he excels. He's very good. The ammo card's good. The heal card's good. But people never make it work unless you've got a duo and you're communicating. It's not worth it. You're losing out on like on something else when you're barely even enabling what you have already. Tyra's situational. I think she's better with nade. Her nade build's pretty good, and she counters like Charlene. And she's very situational. You can run her though, pretty much any time. I'm gonna put her like bottom of B plus just because she's always the same. Like she's never really bad, but she's never really good. Victor, I never see Victor played. Victor's actually not much weaker than he used to be. Like he does a little bit less damage. I think because Zin and Andrew are so proficient, and if they've got pockets, it's very difficult to deal with. But I think if they're not picking Corvus or Janos, and you have one or both, then pick Victor. And I'm gonna put him here because he's still really good. He's just not quite as good as he used to be. Vivian's fallen off. Very good with the sensor drone build against like Charlene. He's revealed for 5 seconds. Anyone's revealed for 5 seconds. Kind of annoying for people to deal with. So there's a lot of like if there's nothing for you to shoot, just shoot point tanks because they can't deal with that properly. They'll overextend. They'll burn more cooldowns than they should, leading to a kill later. It just punishes people. Willow. People don't really make use of a dead zone properly. You need focus prior when someone dead zones. It's like having one court between your team, but obviously it's completely healing off. I'm gonna put her here though. I think she's better than these two. But in terms of ranked, I don't think she's much of anything. Ying is it's below Fury. You never really want to pick Ying unless you're more comfortable playing Ying than you are Fury and you want a safe pick. But like you can generally get one of these and then this guy if you just want to heal. If Grove is not good on the map. And then Zin, for ranked, Zin's much easier to play, much easier to get use out of. Guillotine someone again, and then guillotine someone again. Get morale boost, get caught, it doesn't matter what you start with, just make sure you prioritize morale boost at some point and just pump out ults. Even if you trade for the tank, it's generally worth it because your team will collapse on them or they'll panic and run off. That's pretty much it. I didn't need to click that. Well, actually, I'll put it there. It's better. This is that's it. I'll put everything in the description. I'm running for AOC 2021. I'll put other like socials in the description too. Other than that, thanks for watching if you got to the end, and if you just skipped there because you just want to look at the list, I hope it helps.